Welcome back to Tony Died, aka Tony is Dead, aka Tony's a Labby, aka Tony Blackfish, aka Tony Bluefish, aka Mr. Not the Father, aka Tony Two Tone, aka Two and Two Guns, aka call me what you want, just don't call me back, aka call me what you want, just bring back some espresso or something. Nah, Frappuccino. But we are back with our first fireside chat for February. Happy Black History Month to everybody. I hope that you guys will have a wonderful day. Happy Sunday. I'm, of course, joined with my co-host, the one and only YLF, aka Kenny. You want to go ahead and do your little intro? But shit, I can't hear Kenny now. Well, while I wait for Kenny to go ahead and figure out whatever he doing, uh, we are back. It's Fireside Chat. It's Sunday. We're having a fun day. Shout outs to Sebastian. Shout outs to y'all. I hope that you all having a wonderful day. We got some interesting topics for today. Hey, Susie, how you doing? You know, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Susie. There you go, Kenny. You want to do your little intro, or you good? Okay, your audio's totally fucked right now. Nigga sound like a mosquito in my ear right there. There you go.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
end up getting a modem.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you cut out a
Like
little
the
bit
shit
again.
through my Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now, sir?
Hey, Tracy.
Cool, cool. Uh, Welcome, y'all. How y'all doing? I know I missed the intro. His intro cut off for me halfway, and I was just like, "What is going on?" And yeah, your boy got technical difficulties on his end with V and being on gear from the year of our Lord and Savior 2007. I swear to God, I think his
Toot.
computer's probably like nah, I say at least from like 2013, probably 2011, some shit. I got really old setup, y'all. So just bear with me. I hope y'all are having a good Sunday though.
All right, I'm glad that you guys can hear him now.
They can now. They
Susie,
can.
thank
Okay,
you.
cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, Susie said that she can
Thank
hear
you.
you
I
now.
really
I am gonna turn your voice down a little bit because it is loud as fuck right now. All right,
can
that should be fine.
like turn my mic back.
Yeah,
Let me know if you can
I
still
set it
hear
back
me.
down to like 90 or something.
You can still
Yeah,
hear me though.
yeah, yeah. They can
All
hear
right,
you.
cool. I don't have to. I don't have right next to me type shit. I'm just like trying to project my voice. I have the mic on top of my computer now.
Yeah. So this is gonna be an interesting fireside chat because we are going to talk about some topics that we usually do not get into because the whole point of my channel and fireside chat is to be positive and to spread positivity. However, first topic of the night: Epstein files. So a and I'll go ahead and put up the fireside shit real quick. But just to give you guys a little bit of
Yes.
a background about what I am getting at is there was 3 million files that were released, and I have heard some of those files, or not heard. I read through some of those files, and there's 3 million of them, so I didn't read through a lot of it, but I have read through some interesting parts. We're going to talk about the weird shit and a little bit of the shit that people don't really want to talk about, it seems. So let's go ahead and fuck. This is not my video. What the fuck? There it is. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and discuss a little bit of that. I fucking hate this country a little bit, to be completely honest with you. Oh yeah, you're saying now. Wait until you hear the next topic. But but you know, we are gonna talk about a little bit of weird shit that's in there. I want to first touch off on the implication of Pusha T, Jay Z, and fucking Eminem too. Weirdly enough, because they're all mentioned in the files.
Why did they mention Eminem though? I get it, but at the same time, it's like, out of all people, and just throwing motherfuckers in there.
I am gonna preface this by saying
It's like,
I do not trust 100% of the things that have been said in the files because these are accusations and anybody can call into the FBI tip line for what I am referencing. However, all these people are implicated. All these people are in these government documents. You can look it up for yourself. But Eminem's one is weird. Jay-Z's one is weird. Pusha T's one is weird. Do you want me to go ahead and run down about some of the implications of some of those that I'm referencing? Or, well, yeah, I should because some of you guys might not know what I'm talking about. So, for example, Jay-Z and Pusha T have been implicated as to being part of this Epstein ring, along with Harvey Weinstein, the old what is he, the Attorney General or something, Bill Barr, which that's a whole different can of worms. We're not getting into all of that, but we're just going to talk about like these things that were in the files that we have access to. I'm not trying to get too political with it. I'm not trying to get too crazy with it. I'm not trying to do any type of speculation for the most part other than like my thoughts and your thoughts on the whole situation. Jay-Z is implicated of and also trigger warning for a lot of these things. Uh we're also going to talk about Elon and Trump too, that and their whole involvement with this stuff. But Jay-Z was apparently hanging out, according to the files, allegedly hanging out with Harvey Weinstein, Bill Barr, and somebody else, and was taking advantage of young women. Hey, what's up, Ghost? Also, I'll just leave that alone. Yeah, Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, Bill Barr, and somebody else was implicated into having assaulted in a sexual way a woman back in the mid '90s and trafficking them over to a mansion. I'm actually not sure where the mansion was at. It was either in New York or in Florida, but and they allegedly had taken advantage of this woman, and this woman claimed that she had been kidnapped 7 different times, and it implicated Pusha T in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, I should say, because I think that she said that the whole thing occurred in 2007, and that he was a handler. The one thing I will say that makes it make more sense to me is that they could have been drug dealers to these people that were actually more bigger participants in the whole thing. Thank you, Tracy. Uh Yeah, they were more bigger participants in this whole thing, or they were selling drugs to bigger participants in this whole thing, and that's how they kind of tie into it. But again, this is all alleged. We don't have any concrete proof on it. We just had the files and the FBI tips, and that the what is it called? The the transcripts. I had a brain fart. Sorry. The transcripts from their files or from their tip call in to the FBI. And so that's how Pusha T and Jay Z fit into this. Pusha T was also allegedly accused of being a handler for Epstein. Don't know how much truth there is to that. Then uh, the Eminem thing is apparently another anonymous tip. Well, actually, I don't even know if it was anonymous, but it's redacted. A tip came into the FBI tip line that said that Eminem had also taken advantage of a situation with these people that were being trafficked by Epstein, and that him and Marilyn Manson had taken advantage of a few different women too. So before we go in any deeper, I just want to get your thoughts on that, Kenny.
These niggas is on some freaky ass shit. If this is all true, bro, it's just like damn, Hollywood is really like some fucking darker bullshit. It's like the moment you get in big, it's like all right, you gotta. I don't know, bro.
That's the thing, though. They
It's
weren't
just
big at this time. Jay Z didn't even release Reasonable Doubt at that time. He was
was he
like
getting
either
big from
just
the
releasing it or
image by
still in
the
the
thing?
process.
That's probably like the games that they have niggas play. It's like, all right, you want to end up being big, you want to end up doing this, and then you know what I mean. I don't know, bro. Some of it sounds believable. Some of it's kind of like, I don't know, dog.
That's what I'm saying. I'm. It's hard. It's hard to get a real reading on everything about it because, well, it's one of those things where, yeah, I can believe some of it, but some of it sounds so outlandish to me. Like there's a lot. There's 3 million files that came out, right? It's hard to get a grasp on what is 100% credible, what is possibly credible, and what is maybe misremembering the situation or not credible at all. You know what I'm saying? Because you also have to take into account most of these tip line thing confessions. Thank you, Trey, or thank you, Susie. Most of these tip line confessions are they say in the confession that they were drugged or possibly hypnotized, which I think is crazy. But so you have to also take that into account when you're thinking about these things too. You know what I'm saying? Now I know 100% a lot of these people are horrible. Like for example, Bill Gates. Bill Gates gave his wife uh, STD when he took a Russian girl that was trafficked to him by Epstein and then slept with her and got a STD and gave it to his wife. So there is a lot of crazy shit that happened. Stephen Hawking was on the island, but we're kind of getting a little further from what I'm originally talking about. What I'm trying to talk about right now is that I don't know. How do you just feel about the Jay Z and Pusha T thing? And mind you, it's also just Pusha T. It's not No Malice or Malice, his brother. It's just Pusha T. So it's not like it was like a I guess whole thing with everybody that was involved or that these people know. But yeah, just how what are your thoughts on this?
Still running her. That's why it sounds far fetched to me. Just because around that time, pretty sure Pusha T and like the Clips are still a thing. You know what I mean? They were like touring and doing everything together. It's not like they were
This would have
like
been right around their
they were
breakup.
inseparable. You know what I mean?
This would have been right
This
around
is
their
like
breakup.
around the last. This is like right around the last album. Like, either way, they still would have been like doing shit together. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
uh,
But it
it
also
may.
could
All right, so
explain why Malice became such
like,
a
if
Christian
it is,
rapper for a while.
yeah. I was really just gonna say that. I'm like, also explains why Malice probably dipped. He's probably like, man, they got you on some nasty time, brother. I'm out here. They ain't finna get me. And like, yeah, I don't know.
Weirdly enough, also, I haven't seen Diddy implicated in any of it, but also there's 3 million files. I haven't gone through all of them because, I value sleep. And also some of this shit actually makes me actively upset. Like regardless of if all of it is true or some of it's true, the shit that I was reading was making my stomach hurt and making me upset.
Yeah, literally, like visibly upsetting. Just like, dog, what the fuck was niggas doing? Niggas up here just getting away with goddamn anything. Like,
You don't need to be here for this bash bash. Go back and go back to sleep.
let's go back to sleep. Hold on a second, bro. Hell on. Niggas are gone.
Well, I looked over and he just stared at me. I'm like, you was just in your rock a second ago. You don't need to be over here listening to this. My boy's 6 years old. He don't need to hear this. By the way, Bash Sebastian is my lizard. If you guys didn't know, and yeah, he might not understand me, but I still don't want him.
Talking about.
Yes.
I knew exactly who you were talking to. I'm like, man, this nigga telling the lizard to be quiet. I gotta.
He always is some shit that he shouldn't be in. And yes, Susie, 3 million is a lot of files. Mind you, also, these 3 million were supposed to come out beforehand. This has been delayed. And even with the delays, they still messed up on releasing some of it, and some of it has already been taken down. So,
I thought it was 1 million, not 3.
3. No, it's 3.
Oh damn.
3 million files. It's supposed to be, if you had it all printed out, it's supposed to be about 984 feet tall if you had it in paper. And implicates a lot of different people, including the president of the United States at the moment, which we're going to finish off with this part before we get into that, because I'd rather talk about this and Elon first, and then we can go ahead and talk about the redacted or deleted parts that have been saved and screenshotted. I have some of them. And
hold on, real quick before you do that. So like how you brought up the story about and all that.
You're cutting out a little bit.
What about now?
You're good.
Okay, so how you brought up Bill and his wife and like all that part in the email, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in the email, he was basically asking Jeffrey Epstein for like medicine for like the STD for his wife. I feel like besides all the gross shit that's been going on, I feel like a lot more shit is gonna get blown open. Like you know how they try to say like certain STDs are incurable and all that shit. Nah, bro,
Yeah.
they find the niggas. Like I guarantee you, they probably got the cure to like a lot of shit, and they just been, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Because like the things that are implicated. Stephen Hawking was at the island. What he was doing up to, I don't even want to know. I know that he was getting massages and stuff like that. There's been pictures. Even the director of the new movie Melania, Brett Ratner, somebody that I hate to say it. I love the old X-Men movies. You know what I'm saying? I liked some of Brett Ratner's movies, but also he got canceled during Me Too. I already knew that he was a scumbag, but seeing him in bed with because that was released, him in bed with a teenager right next to Epstein, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
Nasty as fuck.
And then they hired him to make the new Melania movie, so all these people are doing dirt with each other, and they're trying to act like we're stupid. And I don't understand why they're just so blatant about half of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They think niggas are stupid. That shit.
yeah,
That
I
niggas
guess
fucked
I
up.
answered my own question honestly, but yeah, I don't know 100% how much I feel about like the validity of the Pusha T and Jay Z claims. I will say I know that Jay Z is a dirty person. Jay Z hangs out with dirty people all the time, and he is a dirty person himself. But
Yeah, 1,000%.
Pusha T one hits a little different to me because I do like clips. I do like Pusha T music. That doesn't mean that I would just go ahead and ignore it though, because if this is true, then I want to stick to my guns. Fuck Pusha T. Just like I did with Kanye. I haven't liked Kanye since he said that black people chose to be in slavery and then cried on stage about not having a abortion and stuff like that. All that's insane. But
And coonery.
yes. Well, my whole thing is that there is so much implication to the thing. Shoot, even one of the lords in England just resigned today because his implication in the Epstein files. Lord
Which
Mickelson or
Lord
something
was
like
it?
that.
Who the fuck is Lord Nicholson?
I'm not English. I don't know. All I know is that he's a lord and that happened. You know what I'm saying? I have to double check. Uh but yeah, no, it's a horrible thing that's going on right now, and it seems like more and more people that you Madelson, that's his name, Lord Madelson. But it seems like more and more people are being implicated into things that are the worst things that you heard. And again, I'm gonna say another trigger warning because this is gonna be very upsetting to hear. But there's things in the files about people. They were going over there and dismembering babies and eating their flesh and stuff like that, and they were torturing the women and young girls, and they were selling them and mm, it's highly upsetting. And then you got Elon. I'm gonna go ahead and pivot a little bit. I know we ain't talked about Eminem and Marilyn Manson too much, but honestly, there's almost very similar to the Jay Z and Pusha T type of thing. But the Eminem one, well, not the Eminem one. What was I getting at? The Elon stuff, because I don't want to talk about the Eminem stuff like right now because we kind of it's going to be retreading the same type of stuff. But Elon, did you see the emails that he was sending to Epstein?
Nah, I didn't.
So you remember when Elon said that like Ghislaine Maxwell, or Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever, I don't really care about respecting her name, but that she had photobombed him at that one event. He would never involve himself with Epstein and stuff like that. Well, lo and behold, in these files is emails, screenshots of emails and emails that have been recovered between Elon and Epstein, where he's begging to go to the island, and there's even one of them that is has. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny to me that he's sitting up there like, oh, I want to come to the island, girls for the win, all this other stuff. And then, like, he sent that to Epstein, right? And then Epstein saw it, forwarded to Ghislaine, and said, deal with this, thank you. And then she hit Elon back up, and then he was like, or she told him pretty much, oh, there ain't no parties happening. And we'll let you know when the next one is gonna go down because they just don't like Elon. Elon got a big mouth. I feel like it's the whole thing about that.
Sounds
But
mad valid, not gonna lie.
yeah, but it's also one of those things where Elon should straight lie to everybody in the world. For a dude that has more money than anybody else in the world, he is a fucking idiot.
That nigga a slut on my mama. Like, all he do is just try to whore himself out for real.
Yeah, but then also you got to remember that I don't think that he sleeps with a lot of women because he does IVF for most of his kids. So, and then he's so weird. He people would say that he's autistic and stuff like that, which I can believe, or that he has Asperger's or whatever. He's on the spectrum somewhat. I can totally believe that. I think that somewhat bothers him, and that he tries to be a cooler person in life because of. Well, you also got to remember, Elon came from a fucked up family too. Not giving excuses for Elon at all. I'm just trying to put some context to it. Because don't forget, Elon's dad is married to Elon's stepsister. So, you know, that whole family tree is fucked up. But yeah, he had hit up Epstein and stuff like that, and was pretty much begging to get on the island and wanting to go ahead and hang out and indulge in whatever degeneracy that they were getting up to. Then you got new pictures of Prince Andrew on all fours over a young female, a girl, a little girl, and it's all of this shit. It's just dastardly. And before I continue, I want to hear if you have any thoughts about anything that I've said so far that you want to go ahead and voice.
Lock him up an understatement, bro. We gotta throw these niggas like we gotta build a pit, right? We gotta go back to building like a giant, like we gotta just make a giant ass pit, put some sharp ass sticks at the bottom of that hole, and throw them niggas in that bitch, Mortal Kombat style. We gotta go back to doing that type of shit to these type of people, bro. Cause like what the fuck?
Yeah, the fireplace background
Like
feels a little
how
fitting for this tonight. Burn it all down.
yeah, burn these niggas at the fucking stake, bro. Dead ass. Like this shit here is fucking disgusting. Like these are the type of people that we really have like running the fucking world. Like just nasty fucking pigs, bro.
I agree, Susie. It is gross. It is very gross. But yeah, no, all these people need to be taken down. All these people need to be going ahead and they need to be shunned from society. And the worst part about it is these are the 10, if not the 1% of society. They have the most money and power out of any one of us.
Swap. We gotta go Robin Hood mode. Just steal
Also, you're a
everything
little
niggas.
quiet right now. I could probably turn up the
What
output,
about
but okay, that's better.
because for some reason, like we'll talk and it wasn't picking up the mic. I switched back to the studio and then I switched back to customer now. But yeah, no, we need to take for like that eyes. Everybody gotta go. Air system. We gotta take all they fucking fun, distribute the wealth, and these niggas off the state, bro.
Yeah, everybody's talking about the cat distribution system. We need to have the wealthy redistribution system because these people have not showed themselves as suitable people in our society. And Susie, that's funny. Because
Speak up, Kenny.
people be sitting up there like, oh well, God will sort him out. Well, God ain't here right now, and if He is, He ain't doing enough. I need to go ahead and hear these people are actually getting punished and actually having consequences to even like the smallest things that are confirmed that they did. You know what I'm saying? Let alone the
That
things that are
like
alleged.
nigga, if any single like it don't even matter if the nigga was in the room. It don't even matter if he didn't do it, nigga. If he was in the room while the shit was going on, you gotta die, bro. Like you gotta go. Like that's the type of time we need to be on with this shit because they're literally fucking over the country too, just because like nigga, they're getting for like sick shit that they do, and then bro, we got
Also, I agree, Tracy.
gross like we got gross motherfucking pedophile niggas out here trying to like run the country. Like one part of like the country is gross pedophile niggas, and then the other part is like weird like white nationalist niggas that are like I don't know, bro. Like
It's not even just
go,
white
like
nationalists anymore. You can't even just like put it into that little group because we got all types of races sitting up here defending these people, laughing at people because they don't ahead and want to be tribalistic and have their team win.
but it's like how your team, y'all team is for like children getting fucking like I don't get it, bro. Like your team is not the winning. It's not even the team that's on the right side of history or like on the right side morality wise. You know what I mean? Like it's just
I'm also gonna say this real quick.
Thing.
If you think as an American that being on one side or the other, having a 100% like foundation to a political side of something, you got the shit fucked up. You're not an actual American. You're barely even a fucking adult to me. Mature. This is not a football game. I don't care if you think that I'm right or left. I don't claim those either of those things. That is not how the shit is supposed to work. The shit is supposed to work that we have brains, we have ideas, and we share them with each other. And we're supposed to be cordial and have decorum when we argue our points. The things that make me mad is when people sit up there making excuses for horrible, heinous shit, and then try to sit up there and and justify it because oh well you're a liberal piece of shit. Oh you're a fucking maggot. Oh you're a fucking fuck you. Honestly, 100%. There's a reason why I don't use them type of terms because I've never used them types of terms. I call spade a spade. I call what it is what it is. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. You don't have any reason to sit up there and try to go ahead and justify it because that person is a leader of your party or on your party's side or whatever. That's the reason why I hate this Nicki Minaj shit too, because she sat up there and told all of y'all that she is fucking a legal immigrant that came in. She defends her brother who's a sex pest, actual sex offender, and a pedophile, it seems, as well. And then also her husband. So why are y'all sitting out here switching sides all the time just because somebody sits up there that's the leader of some type of party or some type of political side that you agree with, but then you go ahead and lose all your morals? That's not a human being to me. That's not a man to me. That's not a woman to me. That's not an adult. That's a child. I'm not gonna lie. Got a little fired up right there. Got a little fired up.
It's valid because there is no two sides to this shit. Like the people that try to be like, "Oh, the Republicans are doing this, and the Democrats are gonna," bro. You've seen if y'all have been like, if y'all pay attention, if y'all been,
I agree, Tracy.
The Democrats have been sitting back, not doing shit. Like the
fuck them Democrats
sitting
too.
back, letting fucking all this shit go down, bro. Like both sides of the fucking coin are fucking bad, bro. There is no like two sides to like morality. It's like, are you a good person? Yes or no. If you gotta sit there and fucking question it, like if you got a question, if you are gonna like stand up for like children being fucking abused or like women being abused or like you feel me, like people's rights getting taken away, like you're not a good person, bro. There is
And
no
it
fucking
sucks that
like
it
ifs
came
or ands
down
or
to
buts
that
about
too.
it.
Because that's not what it should come down to. I don't even like how Democrats treat the American people on simple things like infrastructure and uh public welfare. Welfare is apparently a terrible term in this country, but that's because nobody reads a fucking book no more. So it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, no, it's definitely a thing. And Tracy is right. Tracy is 100% right in her comment that money money doesn't buy happiness. It just allows you to go ahead and do fucked up shit and buy people off and shit like that. Now I'm putting a little extra on what she actually said because uh that's what money is, you know what I'm saying? But that's what money can do for you. That's the reason why Elon gravitates to it so much. That's the reason why there is no reason in the world that Tesla should be valued as much as it is. But my whole thing is that if you're sitting up there thinking that you're in the right part of history because you're a Democrat or because you're a Republican, you still got it fucked up. That's not what history is about. Nobody in 200 years is going to give a shit if you're a Democrat or a Republican. They're going to give a shit on your actual thoughts, your morality, the things that you did to help your actual nation, not the stupid shit that we argue about these days. The fact that we arguing about these heinous things and we gotten it to this point is an injustice of the American dream and the idea of what we've came up with. And I can't even just say the American dream. You know, fucking there's international motherfuckers implicated in these 3 million files. So, yeah. Then you got the fucking president. Yeah, I'm gonna pivot a little bit because that's initially what I wanted to get at before I got real fired up. You got the president of the United States talking about that the files absolve him of any wrongdoing. Mind you, the last batch of files implicated him into the death of a newborn child that was disposed of in Lake Michigan. And then you have the aspect of him in the newest release of files. I'm trying to make this a little more tolerable to say out loud and not piss myself off. But human trafficking young girls from pageants, his pageants, that he brags about all the time. It's highly upsetting. It's highly upsetting. Thank you, Susie. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. This is a little bit of some ugly topics, but they're topical. I can't help but to talk about them. This is what my country going through right now, and I got I'm born from New York, Poughkeepsie, New York. I got red, white, and blue going through my veins. If you feel me, I was 5-10 minutes away from colonial battlefields that were some of the deciding battles of making this country what it is. I I love my country. I have certain feelings about how people treat the way that we go about this country, especially our current president. And the fact that he had the audacity to think that he was absolved from anything when just because you delete files from your DOJ releasing them on the government website does not absolve you from anything. We still have them. I read through them before you took them off 14 minutes after you posted them, and I still got them. My whole thing is, why can't people just go ahead and open their eyes and think with their brains? If this happened to most people that I know, if this happened to their families, they would be livid. Livid. They wouldn't be sitting up here trying to make excuses. And this is just the stuff that's alleged. You know what I'm saying? We know what he has actually done too. The President of the United States. We know what he did to his wives. We know how he talked about his daughter. We know a lot of things that this man did that are heinous and ugly. But everybody likes to go ahead and write it off as a joke. Well, I ain't laughing. I need a drink. Hold on.
Just be sitting back acting like, I don't know, shit is just fucking, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I don't get it either because it makes me feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. People sit up there and say crazy shit to me all the fucking time about like their beliefs. Oh, you're not a Christian. Well, you need to get right with God. How about you just leave me alone? What happened to going ahead and just not worrying about what a motherfucker is doing in their life if it's not actually actively affecting you or the community? You know, that's the reason why I don't leave this shit alone, because it's actively affecting me and the community. The more that because you also have to put it into perspective. Who has been punished for any of this?
Damn person, for real.
No, 2 people have been. Only 2, though. Only 2.
Oh, true. And I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, you can maybe make an argument about 3, but Andrew, whatever his name is, because he used to be Prince Andrew, he ain't getting punished. He just got some titles taken away from him, but he's still living in a big house. He's still going horseback riding. He's still golfing. He's still doing all this type of stuff after he lied to the world's face and said that he wasn't implicated in none of this. And yet there's more than enough evidence to show that he was completely part of this. He said it with his own words that he was part of this. And all he got was, oh, he can't be Prince anymore. Okay, he's like an 80-year-old man at this point. He was never going to be king. So it's one of those things where it's like, who's really being punished? Shit, even Ghislaine Maxwell. If you look at what has happened since the president has came back into power, Trump, she is getting treated much more leniently and more pleasantly than she should be. She got transferred from her old prison into a much more enjoyable prison, to which the prison had to come out and say, yeah, she wants to do all this stuff that we don't allow people like her to be able to do. And then they got strong armed so much that now she's allowed to do all those things. Now, I guarantee you, if Epstein didn't hate Trump, he would probably still be alive. But now I'm just going ahead and getting into conspiracies and stuff like that. I'm also kind of fired up. I'm not going to front. That shit pisses me off. Because, like, the things that I seen in them files piss me off. I'm not going to front. They piss me off.
Out of all the the things that I seen in the files, I feel like again, because I still don't get it. People are trying to make jokes about like the Xbox thing, but it's like, no, nigga, like
Yeah, some of the shit is goofy, but even then, it's still like it's hard to joke
it's
about any of this shit. To be honest with you.
yeah, like that's still like, bro, he is there's many different fucking recruitment goddamn big tactics that they probably have, and like the fact that that nigga is in the Xbox probably is just I don't know, bro. Like shit's weird. Shit's OD weird.
Yeah, and then I still don't really understand exactly how Epstein even got his money, except for the fact that he knew Bill Barr's dad, and that put him into a uh certain group. But then also all of these people have ties to Israel too. We ain't getting into
Yeah,
that
that's
whole
right.
that whole thing, but it's upsetting to see how much is just allowed to just slide. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And how much is being actively, what's the word for it? Actively defended by people because it's, oh well, I like this person, or oh well, you're just a leftist, or you're a liberal, or you're a conservative, or whatever. I don't fucking care about the arguments. All I know is that I call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? If I see horrible shit happening, I'm gonna call it horrible. Like even with the Pusha T thing, I told you I like Pusha T as an artist. I will stop liking him if he's a terrible, horrible human being. Just like I stopped liking Kanye. I liked Kanye as an artist too. But you know what? I ain't listened to a Kanye album in years because I can't support that type of stuff. I can't support that. You know? Granted, Kanye's whole situation's a lot different than this, but like even that type of stuff, like saying that you love Adolf, and that you're a black Nazi, and talking bad about your own people and stuff like that, it can be chalked up to mental illness or something like that. That's fine. I don't really care about the explanation for it, but it happened and said it was said, and I stand by my principles and I stand by my morals. You know what I'm saying?
You can't make no excuse for it. At the end of the day, if you a piece of shit, not fucking with you, bro.
Yeah. If you a piece of shit, you a piece of shit. That's just the end of it. You know
It
what I'm
is what
saying?
it is. Yeah.
And I stopped trying to go ahead and try and tell people, like, trying to convince people like, oh, these people are bad, because why would I? If you can't see it with your own two eyes, why do I have to make it make sense in your head? Like 100%. Why I gotta think for you? You know? Why do I have to convince you of something that you see? That don't make sense to me. That's not what I'm gonna live my life like. That's not how I get down. That's not what I do. You know? If you can't understand it, I ain't gonna understand it for you. Simple as that. But you want to go ahead and pivot to the next controversial ass topic? Man, honestly, it shouldn't be controversial.
It ain't even controversial. It's just like the main reason why we wanted to talk about this up this week is just because, like, bro, at the end of the day, we do try to just, keep it light because stuff outside, like, the shit that we do here, it life do be life, and life is rough for everybody. But like as of right now, bro, shit that's going on with like ice and everything, there's no we you just can't stay quiet on it. You feel me? Like
Yeah,
it
no,
be
you
kind of
gotta you gotta voice your opinion, and you gotta put
it'd be
your
disrespectful
feet
to not
down.
use our platform. Yeah,
And also, with this being said, don't expect all these fireside chats to be like this if you're a new person here or something like that. We usually don't talk about shit like this. This is just, it's the first of the month. I took a week off.
It's Black History Month.
And
God damn it, we making history in this bitch.
I took a week off, and you know, we this shit's genuinely upsetting to me and to my co-host and to a lot of the people that are around me. When I hear my friends sitting up there
me and my
being
homegirl,
super pissed
bro.
off. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off a little bit.
No, you're good. It's upsetting me, my homegirls. We not fucking with it.
Yeah, even the homies. The homies that don't talk about nothing political that are like they are only thing that we ever talk about is like skating or video games and stuff like that. They sitting up there talking about I'll die for this shit, and that's when you realize, oh, we're getting into like this is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it with your own two eyes that it's bad, but like when everybody else is realizing that it's real bad, yeah, there's a time and place to go ahead and have conversations like this. So don't think that just because we talking about these topics tonight that we're going to continue to talk about this type of stuff in the future. It might come back in the future, it might not. That's not really for me to go ahead and try to predict or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you the whole channel is about positivity. And at the end of the day, I'd rather you come to my channel and get a positive outlook or have a smile on your face when you leave than to sit up here and be like this every time I get on the camera. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be super upset about the things that we talking about and the topics that we talking about, or even upsetting y'all, because you know these are upsetting topics. But yeah, at the end of the day, like this is gonna be a hard episode for not only me to get through, but for some of y'all to listen to, because just some things that we need to discuss, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, ice. Now, I want to preface this by saying I have no idea, or I have no problem with the idea of ice, right? I do think that immigration enforcement is a good thing. I do think that having something like ice is, in theory, a good thing. How it is going, though, is the problem. Because, well, going through American cities and damn near putting them under siege is not the idea that I have of immigration enforcement. You know? And doing it so sloppily, so blatantly, and having the agents so undertrained and so gun ho is it's upsetting to see how an agency that used to be respected and that people honestly 10 years ago none of y'all motherfuckers even knew what ICE was, having that become what it is and progressed into now. It's not good. They've killed American citizens on a public stage. And then we have the idea of sending them to the Super Bowl and to Italy. For what? When has that ever been necessary or needed? And the worst part about it is the way that they're run now is less effective than how they used to be ran when nobody actually cared about this organization or agency. And when I say nobody actually cared, I mean when politics was boring, when people didn't care about like the idea of the immigration enforcement and stuff like that, because it wasn't a thing that affected their daily mindset. but it's bombarded into your head nowadays. So now, if you think that they're doing the wrong thing, all of a sudden you hate immigration, which is not true, or immigration enforcement, which is straight up just not true. You can dislike the way that they're going about things and have the idea that immigration enforcement is a good thing because yeah, you can't just let everybody just come into your country. But also using terms like it's an invasion and we need that makes a fucked up mindset, and then you militarize these people. Yeah, you do this crazy shit. You give incentives that will never be realized, and all you're doing is just breaking up that social contract that we already had as a community, as a country, as people, just that as just people that have a heart and morality and sense. It's it's an annoying thing to have to even say, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like there's a real need, and people like to go ahead and gravitate towards the newest things, like the shootings that have happened recently and stuff like that. But if you look into it, there's a progression of publicity on this stuff, and there's a progression on the media trying to spin it a certain way. There's a progression of the people that are leading these people dropping down the quality of their recruitment, the quality of their responsibilities, the quality of just common sense. And at some point, I just look at it and I'm just like, this doesn't even make any sense. They carry guns on them, their handguns. They carry those handguns that are known to be not the best handgun. They shoot on their own. Like, it's a known problem.
These niggas out here walking around with high points, bro. Like, hell, they not even these niggas good fucking gear for real. And like, the gear that they're giving them, like, it is good. They're not trained to fucking use it, and like they're just goddamn anything shit, thinking it's fucking Call of Duty. Like they, I'm gonna continue. Go ahead.
No, it's like it's one of those things where it's like I don't hate ICE as an idea. I hate ICE as what it's become. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody had a problem with ICE during the '90s. Nobody had a problem with ICE during the early 2000s. Nobody had a problem with ICE in the 2010s.
I object all forms of the slave, the modern day slave catchers, ICE, police, matter.
Well,
Like,
when I was
I
talking
get
to
it. It's good in theory when the government's actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, but like when the government is just using these fucking people, and not even like it's one thing to use the soldiers. So like, all right, so like before they even deployed ICE agents, right? When they deployed the fucking the
National
Marines to
Guard.
LA, right? It's one thing
Oh
to
yeah, the
use
Marines
like the
too.
military, yeah, the national. I was about to say they're both. You're right though. They're both out there. They're both out there. It's one thing to deploy them onto U.S. citizens. They're actually trained. They're not gonna just fucking go out there and go kill and shoot motherfucking civilians and injure civilians. They got untrained people out there just cosplaying. It's fucking like, bro, it's insane. Like
Well,
none of these
even in
niggas got
that
training.
aspect,
None of
not
these
to cut you
motherfuckers can
off,
even pass a physical, bro.
I'm like, even in that aspect, not to cut you off too much, like, we already had problems with our own armed forces during the Iraq years and even before that. You know what I'm saying? You remember Pat Tillman? That's one of the people that Arizona respects the most. And guess what they did to him?
Hey, I got big love for Pat Tillman, bro. Like that's literally like when I learned about that nigga story. Like right when that shit was happening was when I first moved out to Arizona, and that's when I first found out like, oh shit, the military ain't on shit, and that's what made me not want to fucking. Because I was like, when I was a kid, I wanted to like go and be in the Marines. That right there, that shit right there is what made me not want to like go be in the Marines. Because it's like, damn, y'all smoked your own fucking. That's your own people. That's them nigga. That's a white fucking. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, bro. Like that
Yeah,
shit
but
is
it's not
yeah.
even a new thing.
Not,
You know what I'm saying? I got
but just for
family
that
members
to
that
be
are armed forces that they've told me about, like, yeah, you don't want to get into this because you may think that you're above a civilian, but you're actually a test subject for a lot of shit. And then you're bound by your duties to the country. And if that duty is horrible or heinous, you can't say nothing about it. And if you go against it, you might go ahead and end up like Pat. Or worse. I've understood that ideology for a long time. I'm not saying that
that's why.
as a diss
And
to like armed forces or veterans or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know,
that's the truth. It
there.
is what it is, and that's exactly why Chris Dorner did what he did.
Well, I can't get down with Chris Dorner, but I do know what you're talking about because Chris Dorner did take it to a kind of crazy level, and then LAPD took it to an even crazier level when they shot up those old ladies. But you know, that's what I'm saying is like people like to like go ahead and grasp onto their side of a story or their it's tribalistic in my head. You know? Just the same thing that's happening with this ICE stuff. If you don't agree that everything that ICE is doing, apparently you're just a liberal piece of shit that likes the violence or something like that, even though that you're trying to condemn violence. You know? It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So fuck it. You know, I'll say what I feel. I ain't got to be on any side of the fence. I ain't got to be on any side of a team. That's the reason why I prefaced it like that. I don't think that ICE as an idea or organization is terrible. I think what it's become is terrible. And I think that's what the word reformation is about. Same thing with how I feel about some police departments and shit like that. There's nothing wrong with reform because reform just means taking something that was a good idea, seeing that it didn't work correctly, and making it better with logistical and reasonable decisions and choices. You know, not sitting up there making excuses. Talking about, well, what do you want? You want all these criminals on the street? You want immigrants to just come over the border? When did I say that? Now, when did I say that? That's not what I say when I say I want police reform or that I want ICE reform. What I say when I want ICE reform or police reform is I want better standards, more professionalism, better training, better understanding of the communities that they're supposed to be protecting and the constitution that they're supposed to be abiding by and the people that they're supposed to be serving. And there's a middle ground in all this shit, but nobody wants to go ahead and get to it. You know, everybody likes to argue these days. Everybody wants their side to win. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to go ahead and be like, "Oh well, they deserved it. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't." But the whole thing of the whole argument is that even if they did, doesn't mean that you get to be judge, jury, and executioner like Judge Dredd and this bitch. I sit up there and I argue with people about the justice system because there's no reason to me that a person can kill a person in a car, get 2 years, and get out of jail, or that can rape a girl, get a couple years, get out of jail.
Get fucking 6 months or like just get fucking probation and that's it, bro. Don't even go to jail. Like that shit's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
I was about to say sometimes they don't even go to jail. You know what I'm saying? That is the upsetting part about it. That is the part that I am like, there needs to be a hard line in the sand on some of this shit. And if you don't agree with that, like I'm saying in general, not you, but like if y'all don't agree with that, y'all ain't supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Not at least on my channel, not around me, because there is a debate that can be had about some of the things that I'm saying. There is a nuance that can be exposed in some of the things that I'm saying. But you know, I'm gonna put it black and white, just like my friend told me. If you a piece of shit, I'm gonna call you a piece of shit. And if you're a stupid motherfucker, you're gonna be a stupid motherfucker. And I can't help that. I can't help you. I can't think for you. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like you can go ahead and think that what these people are telling you is right, but if you don't think for yourself, I don't know what to tell you. And if you think that some of the things that are going on or some of the ways that we treat things are 100% cool, 100% awesome, 100% like doesn't need to be changed, you are stuck in your fucking ways. And
The
that is
problem,
not
bro,
how
for
humans
real.
became who we are. That's not how society
Yeah,
works. That's not how innovation works. There's a reason why, you know, some of the like most mundane shit in your house came from like the craziest shit that you ever heard of. Your microwave came from fucking NASA. Like you gotta be open to new ideas so that you can go ahead and implement on those ideas. But you also gotta be able to think. You gotta be able to be logical and rational and reasonable. There's a difference between just changing shit up and just following whatever somebody says. But yeah, that's my thoughts on ice and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I thought R.I.P. Renee Good, R.I.P. Preddy. You know, I may not have agreed with them in life. I may have agreed with them in life. I don't fucking know them. I can't say that off rip.
RP
They're
Kevin
dead.
Porter too, because he was murdered on New Year's
Yeah.
Eve or New Year's Day by off duty ICE agent, and that hasn't been getting reported on a lot. So yeah,
No.
rest in peace to Kevin Porter too.
And I just hope that my country gets it together. I hope that we as a society gets it together. I hope that we as a world can get it together because you know what? Tribalistic thoughts and the way that people think about certain shit is not healthy for the world. It's not healthy for me. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for any of us. You know, we need leaders, but we need leaders to lead, not to tell us what we want to hear or entertain us. We have people for that. You know, the people that used to entertain us were entertainers, not fucking politicians, not world leaders. It's not how that shit is supposed to work. You can be entertained by them, but they shouldn't be sitting up there putting on a fucking show for you. You got any final thoughts on the ice talk?
Fuck ICE. Me and my homies hate ICE.
Also,
And
I
they
did see
said,
that Susie. They're doing a lot of different things at border crossings and border what's it called? Even TikTok right now is all fucked up. Like, which has nothing to do with borders,
"Oh, I
but
deleted
it's
my
just weird.
TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah.
deleted TikTok. I ain't gonna lie. They had me fucked up with that shit.
Oh yeah, because the new terms of service is crazy. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I answered Susie. Sebastian, you little badass. But yeah, uh, that's all you wanted to say about the ice thing.
I mean, shit, bro. Look, to because they're not going to like. I don't think they're gonna go to that single fucking state, bro. They're just like selectively going to like certain states. That like I don't know. There's a whole agenda behind it. To the people that have ice in their states, ours included. I mean, shit. I will say this for us in Arizona. You did see what the attorney general said, right?
Yeah, I seen what she said, and I agree with it.
So like, we
And also, everybody acting
we
like
gonna
this
let
is
that
just
be
like
that. Hey,
unprecedented.
you in Arizona? Did not vote because it was like this low key the last time that was out here. Like, none of us is going for that shit, bro. So y'all, everybody in Arizona, stay together as a community, keep each other safe. Same
And
thing.
protect yourself.
It's in the cities that got that everybody. Of
I agree,
to
Susie. This whole
me,
America is fucked up.
motherfuckers,
You're
bro,
cutting in and out, by
nah,
the way.
your phone, bro. Nah, you, hold on. Can you hear me?
Still cutting out a little bit.
What about now?
All right, that's much better.
All right. What I was trying to say is people that are going to the protest, bro, when you go to these protests, don't bring your goddamn phone with you, bro. Have a different way to get in communication with motherfuckers. Don't bring your phone with you. They out here doing weird shit with these phones, bro. I think low key, and this is like a off, like this is like this would lead into like another topic. But I just think with all the
Well,
weird
this is gonna
shit
be
that
our
is
last
going on
topic
with
for
like social
tonight.
media and motherfuckers. Yeah, no, like I'm not saying like I'm saying for another time. Like I'm just saying
Yeah.
like with all the weird shit that's going on with the phones and social media and how motherfuckers is getting tracked and like what information is getting tracked, I think we about to go back to no social media. Everybody back outside. Everybody communicating a different type of like this phone shit because it's getting weird. It's getting tricky. That's all I have to say. Everybody be safe and again, fuck ice. Me and my homies hate ice. We not rocking with y'all. Y'all out here doing bad.
There's a
Freezing.
reason why on the side
Other
Pomegranate Bandit says F Ice, but also none of this is not unprecedented because they done told us everything they was gonna do. Everybody acted
they
like it was
did.
a
They
joke.
did.
Everybody acted like it wasn't real. It was Agenda 2025. You still got them saying what they want. You had Stephen Miller, a dude that's not even a government official, come out at the White House and tell you that the president has planetary power, which means absolute. And you know that should freak you out. The people that are funding the things in this country should freak you out. The aspects of the Ellisons owning and trying to own more and more of media that you consume should freak you out. You know, there's a lot of things that are happening right now that should make you wary. And I'm not saying you should be scared, but you should have you should have your eyes open and your ears open,
Happy
and you should go
antennas.
ahead
Happy
and take
antennas
all
on
this
10.
information at face value, not treat it like jokes. because it's only gonna get worse. There's a reason why I told you last year about Planeteer. The government told you last year about Planeteer. And you know who's up in the government? Planeteer. You don't know what Planeteer is? It's fucking actually weird. Super weird, to be honest with you. But just know that the only thing that they deal with is your data and how they can go ahead and use that and sell that and manipulate that. And the reason why I say Planeteer is super weird because the dude that made Planeteer or owns it, he's a fucking weirdo. And the only reason why it's called Planeteer is because the dude saw the Lord of the Rings movies or read the Lord of the Rings books, one of the two, and he was like, "Oh, that dude got that orb that you can see everything and it's pure evil and stuff like that. I'm gonna name my company after that." Crazy to me. Whatever though. So yeah. And then you got the Ellisons trying to. Yeah, the fact that they have me defending Netflix, crazy, crazy. Because I hate Netflix. But you know what? I like it way more than I would like a billionaire buying another company. I don't like either of them buying Warner Brothers, to be honest with you. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm kind of getting off topic. But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Because. All right, Tracy. I'm going to check it out. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, any last thoughts or ideas that you want to go ahead and let the people know? Kenny?
Y'all, you can hear me, right?
Yeah. Now.
I was, yeah, my fucking setup. Yeah, bro. Look, everybody just gotta, you feel me? We all gotta do our part
Tracy.
at the end of the day when it comes down to it. Like, that ass, we gotta motherfucking, like how we did the fucking protest, like, or like how everybody was supposed to do, like, the whole, like, no fucking buying that shit for a day. Everybody has to lock in on that. It can't just be like pockets of fucking people or like 1,500 people or like 100 people. Like, everybody has to lock in. We all got to do our part to like combat the bullshit that's going on right now. Otherwise, we are going to be fucked. Like, it just is what it is. And yeah, man.
I will say on the process thing, uh, boycotts can work. Historically, they have worked. Recently, they have not.
Just
But
because nobody's fucking unified, we all got to get unified.
even if we were all unified, we still have to buy and eat. You know. All right, Tracy, you can have a little bit more hope than that, but I don't know. Uh, I don't have the answers for it, to be honest with you, which is crazy. It's not crazy because I'm not God. I don't know everything, but protests like that aren't gonna work because they're unsustainable and they're unable to be able to be implemented on a mass scale, if that makes sense. Some people live in paycheck to paycheck. Some people can't afford to do that type of stuff. Some people didn't hear about it until the last minute, So it's just unfeasible in my eyes versus something like going into the streets and peacefully showing that the entire community is very upset and does not agree with this this new way of going about things. But with that being said, make sure that you guys are staying safe. Make sure that you guys are staying positive. I know this has not been a positive fireside chat. And, you know, I would say my bad, but I have no problem with going ahead and hitting y'all with a little bit of truth, especially on the first day of Black History Month. But we will get through this. We will overcome whatever is happening at the moment. And we just need to keep our heads on the swivel, keep our minds clear, keep our eyes bright, and keep our spirits high. And oh, my bad. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It ain't gonna be easy, and shit's not gonna be easy anytime soon. But Tony for president. uh, we will get through this some way or the other. And the nature of society is that things like this happen, sadly, and sadly, it's going to take a lot of effort to go ahead and change that reality. But thank you for tuning into the Fireside Chat. I hope that you guys have enjoyed or learned something or something. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope I didn't just ruin a bunch of people's nights. And it has been your host, Tony Talabia. Tony is dead. Tony died. Tony Blackfish, Tony Bluefish, Two-Tone Tony, Two-Gun Tony, Mr. Not the Father, King ATG, Tony the Magnificent. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful week that's coming up. A little lighter of a fact. If you look at the calendar for February, every week this month will start on Sunday, and every day this month will end on Saturday. So it looks like a perfect block. It's actually very aesthetically pleasing. Do you want to say anything, Kenny?
Everybody have a good night. Y'all be safe. Black History Month, y'all know what time we on. Y'all know what time I'm on at least. Y'all, and if you don't know, guess what? I'm on that time, and just know we out here.
You can put hope on the internet, Tracy, and good night, Susie. Yeah, I am sad that that this episode had to be like this. I will say that. Susie says good night, Kenny.
Good night, Susie. Good night, Trace.
But yeah, I'm sad that this this episode had to be be like this, somewhat upsetting, somewhat depressing. But if we don't talk about these types of things take more control over what the narrative and what people are just gonna believe from whoever they get their information from. It's better to just go ahead and discuss it and have open eyes and open minds and understandable discussions about these types of things. It has been your boy, Tony Zalapia. One love, one world, one life. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And we'll see you guys next week on the next Fireside Chat. I'll see you guys even sooner with my next stream. Probably gonna be tomorrow. And then we got Oregon Trail on Tuesday. Pretty much all I got planned right now. But have a wonderful night, guys. I wish you guys the best.